one of one is missing.
I knew something was up.
Pop, that's almost twice as much going for the same price.
I just freaking love that rated rookie logo.
Doing more buying.
Which one of these 5 quarterbacks has the worst set of pass catchers to throw the football to?
Guess how much I sniped this for an auction?
Number to 5, you dirty animal.
I'm telling you, these optic on-card autos are money.
Football cards collecting and investing. His name is Andy. My name is Carter. We have the biggest card show on the planet happening this weekend, and I will not be there. Andy will not be there, but Mr. Kaysen, we went last year. So if there was somebody watching this right now, Andy, what would be your biggest tip from your national experience last year?
Well, it's easy to get caught up at the very first tables that you come to when you walk into the show, and those guys pay a premium to be there by the entry, the entry elevators and the entry doors and stuff like that. But I would almost say don't get hung up. Like, take a note of the table. Use the interactive map that they now have. Like, make notes on your phone. Like, spend a few hours like actually walking the entire floor, because it's huge. There's hundreds of tables, and if you don't, you're never going to make it to all of them, and you can potentially miss out on a lot of deals. And there's guys in the back. Like, get to the show early, go to the back, start there and work your way to the front, Carter. Honestly, I think that would be my best tip, because I found my best deals like on that Tua Green Velocity PSA 10 and the Brandon Ayuk Prism auto that I bought. Like, all those deals I end up flipping for like 3x whenever the season started. I found those like in the back wing of the back area of the floor,
Yeah. I would say, first off, if you're not going to the National, please come to the Shreveport Card Show this Saturday. I'll be set up. So if you're in Dallas, or if you're in Louisiana, South Arkansas, pretty much anywhere in Texas, it's going to be a pretty big show this weekend. DM me for details. It's only $2 entry, where for the National, it is $30 to get in. 30. That is a pretty hefty price tag. So do you want $2 more regional card show, or do you want the National? But if you are going to the National, my tip would be to prepare. Don't just go in there and wing it. Andy, last year, we just kind of winged it. We didn't necessarily go in with a game plan other than meet up with as many viewers as we possibly can, which we did. Also got stopped by viewers, which we did. Hung out with Paul Hickey and the NoOffSeason.com team, and guess what? They will be there. So if you see Paul Hickey, NoOffSeason.com, make sure you tell him you said hello. Make sure you tell him that you're enjoying what Andy is building here on the Football Card Quest. But I highly, highly recommend you take a look at everything, right? You could be, let's just say you're watching this and you're a huge Ed Reed fan. Well, I would look to see if Ed Reed's going to be there. Guess what, Andy? He was there last year. That could have been your opportunity. And understand that there are so many different things outside of just football cards, right? You have the TriStar autograph lines. People just go to the National just to meet Angel Reese or something like that. You have, obviously, vintage baseball. You have baseball gloves. I mean, it is the National Sports Card Collecting Convention. It's not just cards, right? So don't be overwhelmed. Prepare. Understand that there are different things for different people. And yes, you can make a million deals just, Andy, going through dollar boxes. In particular, I think you could get better deals on dollar boxes because dealers are just trying to get whatever money they can up front. And they're more willing to throw away cards just to get some cash on some cheaper things. But at the same time, if you are into like the big flashy stuff, you can always dollar box find in any sports card show. So really ask yourself, what do I want to spend my time with doing with this $30 ticket while I entered the door, if that makes sense. So really go in and prepare, look at the itinerary, look at the trade nights and all of that, and go in with the game plan.
Yeah, and last year I brought $400 cash, and there was guys out there in our community that was telling me like that was nothing. I ended up going through that like halfway through the first day, I think, and then I was like Venmoing people. So you don't have to bring cash, but you can make those like lot deals and those volume deals. I thought talking to one of our good friends, Tony, that was there at the National, he actually bought a guy's entire case. He liked like a good percentage of the cards. He saw it was all modern football. It was centered around a couple different players, and he ended up buying like 30 cards from this guy, spent about $1,000, but flipped all those cards for several $1,000s. Like he got a really good cash deal. And that's the thing to remember. These guys are mostly selling off of comps from eBay. They're selling off of the sold values from eBay. But they are there to make money. They're there to deal. A lot of these guys have had profit in these cards already, so they will take 80% of comps cash offers. And the more you can bundle together, the more that 80% or that 20% discount that you're looking to get from them, because you have that cash in hand, it impacts the overall purchase price of that lot. So you can really get some good deals if you do it that way. And I think, looking back, I would have brought in traveling there and stuff, I would have brought at least like $1,000 cash. But you take they all take Venmo, so you can Venmo on site. I am Venmoing plenty of guys. Don't miss out on trade night, because there are tons. That's another one, Carter. There were tons of I say kids, but I mean, these are like 18, 17-year-old guys, kind of aging myself here, but that have impressive collections that are trying to wheel and deal on some of their lower, like in rookie ticket autos and stuff. And I made some great pickups there as well.
Yeah. My only retort to the bring a lot of cash, Nick Fink coming in hot. First off, we want to shout out Funhouse Comics with the super chat. Funhouse, you get to pick the next topic here after the National. Once again, if you super chat, we go to whatever you want to talk about. So Funhouse, thank you for your donation to Andy's cause here, building the biggest football card community on the planet. I would also tell you, don't just go get $5,000 cash if you're not responsible. Be careful. Obviously, understand your surroundings and all that stuff, because that is a lot of money to carry around. But I did see one $20,000 deal go down with a guy buying this dude's entire collection. And honestly, Andy, the guy who bought the collection bought a $40,000 collection, but he paid the guy I think it was $20,000 or $25,000 cash. He made a great deal, but it was a good deal for both parties involved, because if you're not going to do a cash deal for $25,000, the taxes on that is going to be absolutely insane. So it's a win-win for both parties involved. I watched a kid make a $6,000 Justin Jefferson purchase right in front of me last year, which I thought was ridiculous, but it happened. So look, go in with a game plan and understand what kind of cards really do move at the National. Last year, Andy, I was just carrying around so many cards, and it weighed me down. Like, really only bring liquid stuff, right? Unless you already had a pre-made deal with somebody. Bring some cards that are desirable and that you would want to move, unless, of course, you're just setting up and you're able to be stationary. But really ask yourself, what are cards that people want? And it's current young quarterbacks more often than not. So it's very important to understand those things. Andy, this is a juicy comment here from Jim H. He says, I'm going to buy some football optic first off the line in about an hour. Let's go, optic.
Let's go. Yeah. Football optic coming out. We've got new data on the Contenders. Contenders product singles is hitting the market. And you'd be surprised some of these prices that defensive players are going for, Carter. I'm going to share my screen here and show you some of the latest sold data from 2023 Contenders. Look at this green. It does have a serial number match, 23 out of 23 here for Will Anderson. $70. That's still one of the inserts because it's optic contenders within Zenith. But look, here's a Sam Laporta die cut out of 87 that has that jersey number match, was listed for $300 in a buy now. Ultimately, the seller took $175.
Really? Okay. Let me see this card. Wait, put that card up. I want to see this for a tight end. We've talked about tight end markets, unless it's Kelsey. It's not really anything crazy, but I like the way that card looks. I like a weird kind of die cut ticket auto. And hey, like we've always said on this channel, man, we are big fans of the rookie ticket auto. So if you're just getting into collecting, Andy, this type of card, even though it is, a die cut, but it's numbered, these types of cards, Andy, are always going to be coveted by collectors and just fans of football cards.
Oh, yeah, man. It's so iconic going back to the 1998 years of Randy Moss and Peyton Manning. Then you have Tom Brady's, largest sale ever. One of the most iconic cards in the hobby, his playoff rookie ticket auto from the year 2000. I mean, it's just the set has such a deep checklist. You have so many on-card rookie autos, and you have this iconic rookie ticket theme that goes all the way back to 1998. So it's like, man, these cards are always super liquid. They're very popular. I would say that these ones with the patch in it, like this one that sold for Jalen Carter, aren't typically worth as much as the standard ones. But this one for Jalen Carter, serial numbered out of 25 with a little bit of stitching and 2 colors, actually went for 63. That's pretty good for a defensive player, like another solid defensive player sale. But typically it's these base and short print variations that people are after. And they just, for example, here's a Lucas Van Ness base for $20. That's pretty solid for what he's possibly, backup tight end for the Green Bay Packers.
That Jalen Carter auto makes me want to vomit. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just, please. I mean, put forth a little more effort, Jalen. But it doesn't shock me because you know who his teammate was, fellow 5-star on the Georgia Bulldogs. The other guy who has the worst auto in the hobby right now, the great George Pickens. Oh. So it makes a lot of sense. But for the most part, this rookie class looks like we got some sexy autos here. So let us know what you guys think about Contenders, Optic. Let us know. Funhouse Comics, his super chat comment, bring liquid trade bait to the card shows. And by the way, I am buying. I don't buy off eBay as much, but now that I am going to more shows, once again, the Saturday 7:35 American Way in Shreveport, I will be set up fun card show. I will be buying, trading, selling, all that good stuff. Look at the gold number out of 5, Luke Schoonmaker, Andy. This going for that's a nasty auto too. I like that, Luke. This going for $104.
Yeah, $104, man. Dallas Cowboys player here. So yeah, the Cowboys definitely adds a lot to this. But I mean, it's a gold card, and historically they haven't done gold parallels in the base Contender set. So this would be a new parallel out of 5 in base Contenders. They've done gold in optic Contenders. They've done cracked ice and championship tickets and stuff like that. But to do a gold ticket, gold foil, so it's not a chrome finish card. This is a card stock card, but this has a gold foil finish. But this looks great, Carter. Out of 5 on the front, on card rookie auto with that ticket theme. I mean, that's a nice card. I think even at $105 for Luke Schoonmaker is solid.
So what's going to be interesting, of course, you're not, at least I don't think, I'm going to quadruple check right here. You're not going to have the CJ Stroud rookie ticket auto in this product. Am I correct about that, Andy?
Right. Yeah. There's no way.
I do believe we will get Anthony Richardson in this product. And if you are an AR fan and you really do think he's going to go nuclear, actually, I might be wrong on that. I thought I saw it in the promotional. Yeah, we should have Anthony Richardson. Okay, we do have Anthony Richardson rookie ticket autos. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I saw an AR. Like, there's an AR insert from Zenith. The optic blue out of 23 PSA 10. It's back in May, so transaction's a couple months old, but it's sell for 2,000 there, which is interesting because a couple sold items below that. Literally 2 days later, a Brock Purdy teal out of 99 PSA 10 sold for 1,895. So definitely Brock Purdy's still trading at, generally speaking, a lot higher than AR, but interesting.
One final thing that I love about rookie tickets, all right, and it makes the print runs very different, is the first card we talked about, that Sam Laporta. I love the ticket stub inserts where the print run just comes down to your jersey number, right? So, like, Kyler Murray has a ticket stub in this product, and the print run is 1 of 1. So I think that adds to the allure, right? Like, Buda Baker's in this print run to 3, right? His jersey number is 3. It used to be in the 30s, but he changed it. So I've always loved that with the ticket stub die cut. I'm not a huge die cut guy, but for ticket stubs, I like it. I like the uniqueness of the print run being your jersey number. So there you go.
Also, Carter, real quick, I like how they've added this little variation text here under the auto. I think that's interesting this year. So you should be able to distinguish right on the front which ones are your short print variations. On this design, this wild card design, I think that's what they've called it in the past. It's kind of like looks like a supernova or sun explosion type, foil finish there. It hasn't done as well in the past as I would have imagined because it's not serial numbered. So, like, the scarcity is not known, but they've always done this little V in the football on the back that tells you that it's a short print variation. But this year they've also added this little variation text on the bottom, which I think is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, and honestly, man, dude, there are so many ARs in this product that I really want to buy. There's already one here graded by PSA Color Match for $900. It's very tempting for your boy. But Andy, there it is right there. There's one, and that's actually the one that I'm looking at. That blue one. No, the one on top of that.
Yeah.
The fact that this person already got this graded. Oh no, I was in the Zenith. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, but it's still an optic rookie ticket auto. It is a sticker auto, but
right. And yeah, and look, I understand you would like that signature to be a little bit more like just better. I saw Funhouse, make a comment about Anthony Richardson's signature. I still think that that's better than what some of these players have done. Jalen Carter, JC, come on, you're better than that.
Well, and with AR, honestly, I think his on-card autos are going to be worth a lot more. I think that's what you're seeing here. Why this specific rookie ticket auto, just his base rookie ticket auto, sold for $862 when we saw other rookie ticket autos for him, much more rare, go for less or equal to this, as this is the base rookie ticket auto here, but it's on card. So literally it had to be visually, he signed it in front of Panini at one of their events. So it's like, versus the book of stickers that got sent to him that could have been auto penned or something else. This is AR's signature, even if it is just the AR, you know what I'm saying? So I think that his on-card rookie autos are going to hold really good value long term, as long as obviously he's a good player. He continues to start in the league and everything. But just his market, his on-card rookie autos definitely have a premium on them.
PTX Isabella, one of the first-time viewers, he says, I'm new to cards and I'm wondering what price cards are best to buy if I'm wanting to flip. Looking at flipping Hurts, maybe playoff time. Would I want to buy one expensive card? Honestly, it's what the cards we're talking about right now, rookie ticket autos. It's always a one that's going to be, coveted. Obviously, numbered, color match, all those different things could go into it. But rookie ticket autos, Prism are normally the sets. If I'm trying to flip, unless it's just something that I know would go for a lot more, like if it's a really low number Phoenix card that it's just a price I couldn't pass up, then maybe. But yeah, normally I aim, if I'm doing the flip thing, rookie ticket autos. But as you can see with Jalen Hurts, those are a little pricey. So still, if I think a QB can go to the Super Bowl, $449 for a rookie ticket auto is not really that bad.
No, not that bad at all. Especially when you have to compare this. If you see this ending in an auction, go and look at what Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and particularly Justin Herbert, who doesn't have all of the appearance championship and Super Bowl appearances that Joe Burrow has, just a little bit different level of clout there. But look at the Jordan Love as well. Look at the Tua, and kind of paint a picture of where Jalen Hurts is amongst those guys. He's kind of in between that Tua and Jordan Love level right now, well behind Herbert, and everybody's behind Burrow now at this point. So yeah, something like this from Base Optic Contenders rookie ticket auto for $450 is a great deal, because we've seen this card get well over $1,000 before in playoff time period, and it's very liquid. Like Carter said, on card rookie auto from that brand, you have everything you want there in a card. But you can also buy lower end cards. I would look at your optic hollows, your Prism silvers, and it's really, Carter, to me, it's all about like, what is the price point that I can get in at? If there's a $400 rookie ticket auto for Jalen Hurts, that's great. But if I can get, for example, an optic hollow PSA 10 for under 200, and the current trend for them right now is 225, and that's down. Like, look at the beginning of last season. Those were buy it nows for almost 400. Buy it now for 400, 375. And I'm getting in now under 200. Like, that's a great safe buy with plenty of upside. I mean, look at the, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the peaks for that card. Playoff time period, you had at the end of the 2022 season, 2023 playoffs, you had 330 buy it nows, and then the beginning of last season, you had 375. Jalen Hurts, I think, is going to have plenty of hype here, Carter. And right now you are getting a historically nice discount on his cards. He is a good player to buy right now. He's a good value, really, when you look at the whole team environment, and just kind of like the dynasty that is the modern day Eagles. I think he's a really smart play. He's a good solid play.
You've made so much money on Jalen Hurts cards in the past, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just solid. And if you think Kellen Moore's going to make this offense better, they do have a huge offensive play caller upgrade coming in with Kellen Moore. We'll see. It's going to be fascinating, and this has nothing to do with football cards. It's just a pure football standpoint. I'm interested to see how much Kellen is going to revamp this offense around Jalen. Right, he's going to have to switch some things up and get Jalen back to doing what he does best, which is making plays, playing quick, and obviously last year the play calling was just so terrible for the Eagles. So I'm with you. I'm in on Jalen Hurts. I'm drafting him a lot in underdog. But yeah, I think he'll be back. And look, we'll also see if Jason Kelsey really is the GOAT center. If this offense does fall apart, we'll see that Jason Kelsey really is like the greatest center of all time. Because there's a piece of me that thinks he is. Now, Andy, it is time for hobby tip of the week.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first because you have something very important from our friends at CGC, man.
Oh, actually, I do. Yeah. So CGC has acquired JSA autograph authentication, James Spence autograph authentication. They're one of the leading autograph authenticators in the world. A lot of hobby experts consider them as the leading autograph authenticator in the world. And so CGC has bought them, brought them under their umbrella, and CGC is now authenticating event signed autographs. And they've done their first 3 cards. One of them was this Mickey Mantle from 1968. And so you can get an idea of how they do that. So they're doing this for TCG, sports, non-sports. This is absolutely huge, guys. And so they're not changing their declared value policy. Pulling up a little pricing structure on their autograph authentication. You can now send them. You can still do their bulk submissions and at the price that it currently is, and I'll pull that up. I think that's down to $15 per card on 25 cards. And if you want the autograph authenticated, it's only $15 additional. So you see in their bulk, their 25 card minimum for an extra $15 per card. You can it'll add 10 days to your submission turnaround, but for $500 max declared on the raw card, you can get that event signed autograph authenticated via JSA, their new subsidiary. So fantastic. They're also accepting in-person submissions for this at the National, and this is going to be a huge announcement for them at the National, but this has also already been announced. They're already accepting these submissions via the mail. They've announced this through Sports Collectors Daily, and a lot of other, like Paul Hickey, No Off Season, did a phenomenal job covering this last week on his YouTube channel and everything over at Sports Card Strategy. But this is big because this puts them now, Carter, really in a position to compete with PSA on another level as well. You know, just puts them one step closer to being the top grading company in the hobby next to PSA and Beckett BGS. So big news here from CBC.
Yeah, I have a lot of JSA authenticated stuff, over here. So yeah, for one, Andy, and look, I've told you this, like I'm very excited about CGC going after it. Them buying JSA kind of lets you know that they're serious about like the sports card stuff. And you and I have gotten into some pretty lively debates in the past about on-card auto versus the sticker auto. And I truly do believe an in-person auto, especially if it's nice, I kind of prefer that because it's just on card. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of the sticker auto to begin with. Maybe that's it. But that is really cool that that CGC is doing this.
Yeah, and you can choose to have the autograph graded as well or not. You know, PSA does this, but they charge you an additional fee on top of it. It's like PSA is just like this fee after fee after fee, and sometimes it adds up, and sometimes you don't even know about it till it comes back, right? Because that's when they charge you when they're ready to send it back. And so with CGC, it's very transparent, it's very upfront. And you can have that autograph graded for no additional fee. Like literally, it's $15. We'll authenticate the autograph, and if you want the grade, we'll give you the grade of the auto. If not, you don't have to get the grade of the auto. You know, so I absolutely love that. Then you combine that with the their new holders, their incredible plastic and everything. Fantastic. So shout out to them for that. Also sponsoring the Football Card Quest and nooffseason.com. Incredible business partners.
There we go. My hobby tip of the week. It is still national related. Obviously, we started, things off with the national. I cannot state this enough. fanny packs are so unfreaking believably underrated. People might look at you crazy, but this is the National, okay? You're not going there to impress chicks. You're not going there to win a fashion contest. It is a bunch of Hawaiian shirts, sock and sandals, New Balance. Obviously, on another note, make sure you apply extra deodorant before you go because you are going to sweat. But a fanny pack is a game changer at shows, especially if you're not a vendor. But even if you are a vendor, fanny pack nation, okay? Strap it on, pause. Put it around your waist, pause. You want that thing on you. It's just an extra little pocket and it's no extra weight, right? And pack lighter. Once again, I want to be clear. This is a mistake I made last year. Bring cards you know will move. If it is a lesser known player, I sold my favorite Marcus Colston card. It was a gold prism number to 10 last year that I sold. Gold prism number to 10. If it's not a quarterback or someone really coveted, a Breece Hall, if you will, make sure it's something that you really think you can move. People are buying Leaf at the National. They just aren't. I'm a Leaf guy. Most of my collection is Leaf. But go in with that game plan that you don't want to be overweight with your cards, literally and figuratively. So I guarantee you the fanny pack. Andy, have you ever rocked a fanny pack?
Oh no, man. I'd probably more likely I brought the book bag last year, but it got way too sweaty. Like I got way too sweaty with it on my back and stuff. So honestly, I think I would go the fanny pack route, or maybe just wear like cargo shorts. You have the extra pockets on the sides, get the cargo shorts going.
Let's go to Chris. He says, I also see Chad Dyer in here, the legend.
Chad.
I know he's in the background, but what do you think about Tanner McKee, Andy?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one because we were just talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't know. They bring in Kenny Pickett, so it's like there's an extra layer there where Tanner McKee, he did get a little bit of time starting preseason, and I thought maybe as a rookie could generate a little bit of like FOMO, fear of missing out. Guy's 6'6", he's a big figure, but at the same time, Carter, I think he's now the third string behind Kenny Pickett, and Jalen Hurts is a tough, knock on wood, quarterback that like typically doesn't miss any time. So I think the chances of getting to Tanner McKee is very slim. Maybe if you can get something extremely cheap, like a rookie auto Tanner McKee for $20 or less, and you're looking to flip it in preseason, or you're just going to hold it for the long run because you came across a gold Tanner McKee that you got for a steal of $20 and you want to like put it on the wall. It looks cool. Maybe he gets a start one day down the road. It's like a Mike White premier and the guy goes off and you make some money, and you sell it at that time. Otherwise, he just stays on the wall forever. What was Tanner McKee's college profile like, Carter?
Out of Stanford, I mean, he was okay. I mean, it's Stanford though, right? Gone are the Andrew Luck, David Shaw dominant days. I mean, he was okay. He wasn't, light the world on fire in a weak Pac-12. One thing that's interesting, just a quick search here, Andy, is like, so his gold number to 10 first off the line cards, actually number to 5. 3 of them have already been pulled, and they're selling for a good chunk on eBay. Like people are already 99 cents in these sons of guns. And I see one at $5, but that was just listed. One is already at $150 with 4 days left. And one is buy it now for $4.99. So yeah, I mean, his really rare stuff. Actually, I see 4 of the number to 5s that have already been pulled. Very interesting. So and they're already listed on eBay. So yeah, you can get a rookie ticket all around the $20 range. Sure, you can roll the dice, for a preseason flip. But yeah, what I would tell you, Chris, even though you asked Andy, I would be ready for the preseason game where he lights it up and people would get very interested.
Carter, going back to an earlier comment, and we were talking about Jalen Hurts, and you can see how his prices have dipped from last year. And someone made the comment, he's still the QB2 in fantasy, at least on Underdog Fantasy and Best Ball. But I think in a lot of seasonal fantasy leagues this year, like we're getting into draft season, people are going to be taking Jalen Hurts right there with the top tier. With your Josh Allens and your Patrick Mahomes and your Lamar Jacksons and stuff. I think Jalen Hurts could potentially go first in a lot of those drafts, but he's probably got the cheapest rookie cards. And I think that just goes to show you how much winning games and just like championship and Super Bowl appearances really matter, to a quarterback's values. Right. And Jalen Hurts has been pegged as this system quarterback guy. Like even Jason, it's like makes Jason Kelsey's hair stand up when you say that, because that's how a lot of people have pegged Jalen Hurts, since he came into the league. And I think that's what has, kept his values there right back down to where they were. I mean, I'm looking at $50 base Prism PSA 10s. I mean, that's a third of what I sold mine at, at the beginning of season last year. So I think Jalen Hurts is another situation still in his prime, man. This team is a contending team out of the NFC, Carter. I think he's still in a great position for people. He may be the best value in the hobby, especially now seeing that recent sold from yesterday of his rookie ticket auto for $450. I mean, that seems a little egregious. That seems pretty low, Carter.
Let's go to James. Who are you buying if news breaks out that Love, Tua, or CD hold out?
Yeah, I don't think they really hold. I don't think any of these guys really hold out. I think this is smoke. Like, I think even Brandon Ayuk is going to come back with his tail between his legs and play for the 49ers. Like, I think Debo did just a year or two ago. So, I don't think any of these guys actually hold out. I think it's more of, I think even like somebody tweeted and reiterated, I think it was Schefter right after, there was like a tweet about Love holding out. It was like, oh, well, just to be clear, he's not holding out. He's in the building watching film. He just won't practice. And then Tua is a very complicated deal because there is like injury, some injury concerns there with Tua in the past. And I think they're just trying to figure out how much they actually guarantee him, right? Because, you probably want to put more of his contract in like bonuses and incentives on playing time and winning, and maybe not as much guaranteed. So it's like a fine line trying to negotiate all that with his agent. And then CD, you just got to pay the guy. I mean, the guy's the best one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You just got to pay the guy. Sorry.
Yeah. So what's interesting is normally, quarterbacks are just so much more valuable in the hobby. But this is one of the rare like situations where a wide receiver legit is almost as valuable. Well, not nearly as valuable as Dak, but he's about as valuable of a receiver there is in the NFL right now, knowing that if CeeDee Lamb, let's just say he does hold out and doesn't play, your number one option is Brandon Cooks and James Ferguson and Jalen Tolbert and Ryan Flournoy. Okay. So I think CeeDee Lamb, if I was CeeDee Lamb, I wouldn't play until I actually get my deal and force the Cowboys, who are notorious in the recent years anti-deal kind of people, that they didn't re-up Dak this offseason. So yeah, I mean, CD is going to get an unfreaking believable amount of targets. And I think at the pace the Cowboys will play and knowing their running back room the way it is, CeeDee Lamb has a chance of breaking the target record of any wide receiver that has ever played this game, because we know Dak loves to feed him. So It's a very interesting situation he's in. And like you said, Andy, the Brandon Ayuk has no leverage. He's going to play. So Tua is fascinating. I think Jordan Love's deal gets done. There's a lot of smoke with that right now. And Tua has been publicly saying, "Hey, let's get something done." He said it at his charity event, a few months ago. So it should be very interesting. But yeah, if CeeDee Lamb holds out, and there is some kind of dip in his cards, I would be very interested in making a move there. So there you go.
And so just for comparison here, let's look at some rookie ticket auto sold data from Tua here. You have this with the helmet on it from 2020 is actually the short print variation. That's what you want to look for instead of just the Dolphins logo or whatever team logo. The one with the helmet is the short print. That for 535, pretty low for Tua, but you can see just going back to the beginning of June here, there's been a lot of sold activity here for Tua, and it's not all auctions. There's got buy it nows in here, like this out of 99 for 800. Like people are paying good money. It's not crazy money like Burrow and Herbert's. We're in like that $400 or $500 range for Tua on his rookie ticket autos. But people are buying. They're 100% buying. They love, I think, the opening schedule. They love the upside. It's like Tua healthy is like that home run, potential home run hitting quarterback with the weapons that he's got in Waddle and Tyreek Hill, who just got stem cell injections down in Antigua and is feeling better than ever, apparently. So, this should be ready to just light up the scoreboards here out of the first few weeks. And now they add Jalen Wright. He's still got the whisper there and Mike McDaniels. And it's like, man, wheels up, right, for these guys.
Yeah. Tua, I have been known as the anti-Tua guy on here, but when it comes to football cards, you'll learn if you're in like the buy and flip game, some of your biggest W's are with the quarterbacks that aren't the best, right? One of my biggest sales flips, Andy, was Derek Carr cards a few years back. So yeah, you could be like, man, you don't think Tua's the best, and that playoff game versus Kansas City just rubbed you the wrong way. But he's going to put up numbers, right? There's going to be some games where Tua is the QB1 in fantasy with how exposed to that Miami offense is.
Yeah, and I just go back, like, if you're really trying to maximize profit here at the beginning of the season, and you're not like taking the angle of, okay, I want to like buy low on this sleeper and flip him on a training camp highlight or a preseason debut, this kind of thing. That kind of stuff is going to happen for a lot of rookies and second-year players on new teams, or maybe with some new coaches and stuff like that, where there's ambiguity, right? And hopefully, pray to God, I've been getting messages finally from Panini about the shipment of my Panini Instant stock and this and that. Like, it's supposed to happen here, like within the next week or so. Hopefully, it's just crazy how delayed they've been in processing and sending out all the cards from the NFLPA Rookie Premier event that happened at the end of May, almost 2 months ago. But those cards are gonna be absolute fire for rookies when that comes out. The other angle, though, Carter, is to analyze this opening 3 weeks of the schedule and place your bets on teams and like stack these guys, right? If you think Green Bay is going to beat Philly week 1 on Friday Night Football, place your bets on Jordan Love and stack them with, some rookie card buys on whether it's Dontavian Wicks, who looks really promising, or Christian Watson, who's at value to battle with injuries, that kind of thing. Like, do that. Look at Miami. They're hosting Jacksonville in week 1. And then week 2, they get a primetime slot at home hosting Buffalo. So it's like, boom, that's big Thursday Night Football. If they could potentially go 2-0 then and beat Buffalo in week 2, Tua's prices go up. Tua's prices go up, and there's going to be a lot of touchdowns scored there from some of the weapons. So you can make your bets. Probably the best value there, I think, is Jalen Waddle. If you don't have exposure to Jalen Wright, I think it makes sense. A-Chain's still expensive. Mostert's prices have come way back down. And if he puts up all those touchdowns like he did last year, Carter, all he's got is a rookie ticket auto. His rookie ticket auto's got up to over $100. So that's where I think a lot of really good profit can be made, is if you get this schedule right and then you make the plays accordingly.
One thing you could do, and this is a very specific play, Andy, because, obviously you have the season opening schedule, and then Miami plays in 4 days on Thursday Night Football in week 2. If you think Miami is going to beat Jacksonville, 99-cent that thing Thursday night around like 9 p.m. and you can get a big game, in that Jacksonville game. And let's just say Miami goes on versus Buffalo. That's going to be the only game on TV. There's going to be a lot of people rushing to go get Tua cards that night. So it might be worth that. You get what I'm saying? They do a 99-cent. Okay. So yeah, if you're high on Miami, that is one thing you could potentially do. I love doing it just from like an experiment standpoint. How often do people rush to eBay watching that solo game? So it's very interesting.
It happens. I mean, almost even it happens a lot on quarterbacks, but where you see these crazy spikes on players that haven't been like quote unquote discovered before, and so we saw it happen last year with Devon Achane, with Jerome Ford, with like Kyron Williams. Like, I mean, there was multiple skill position players that we saw this happen with. Game after game, man, especially in primetime spots. It was week 2 last year. Jerome Ford rips off a 69-yard run after Nick Chubb went down with an injury, and that was all she wrote. I mean, his cards went up 5-6x, like crazy, So you want to look for those kind of players this year that could potentially do the same thing. And I guess this is the perfect time, Carter, for play of the week.
Let's go.
Play of the week. So a lot of guys been reaching out to me. The more that you talk to me about the Indianapolis Colts, the more I started looking at their depth chart. And Jonathan Taylor's cards are expensive. And the one thing I agree with you about the Colts and why I think that they could do better than what's expected in the AFC South is the strength of their offensive line, right? And the run game. And just the coaching there and the overall core of that team is really good. So started looking at the depth chart of the Indianapolis Colts, and I really like the backup running back. And some guys think that it's going to be I think it was what's his name, Trey Sermon. Yeah, Trey Sermon. But okay. I actually think it's Evan Hull is the guy that you want to buy into. Evan Hull has got that breakaway speed, man. This cat runs a 4.47, so we're talking 85th percentile burst and speed and agility. This guy also had a 85th percentile college dominator at Northwestern, so put up very impressive stats there. I'll let you speak to it. He put up over 1,000 yards at Northwestern in 2021 and 2022. And this cat goes in week 1 last year, tears his meniscus. He was actually going to get the job over Zach Moss, but he tears his meniscus. Zach Moss comes in, and the rest is history. Zach Moss earns his bag last year from his performance in Indianapolis, but that would have been Evan Hull. And so I think people have written Evan Hull off. He's a guy you can get incredibly cheap, especially with second year when you combine that with second year product. Like, this is only a second year player, so he's basically a rookie, and he's got the size, speed profile that you want to see in a breakout running back. So if Jonathan Taylor twists his ankle or whatever, Jonathan Taylor has had a few ankle and lower body injuries over the past 2 years, and there's no guarantee or anything like that. But I think Evan Hull is the guy, the home run hitting running back behind him, that would be this year's Zach Moss. A lot of people made Zach Moss last year, money on Zach Moss last year, including myself. I think Evan Hull's that guy this year. We lost Carter. Oh, there he is. What did
keep going.
So summarize whatever you missed. I think Evan Hull is this year's Zach Moss plus if something were to happen to Jonathan Taylor.
We get a plus. Yeah, so I don't do a whole lot of dynasty. I still have Evan Hull on my dynasty roster. I'm a believer in the talent. The issue is, one of the things that a lot of people projected him as is like a receiver out of the backfield. That's not really Anthony Richardson's game, the check down stuff, but I do believe in Evan Hull, the talent, and his autos are ridiculously cheap right now. So there you go. Andy, my play of the week is sell your Xavier Worthy cards now, because he's got the training camp highlight of all training camp highlights right now. Patrick Mahomes rolling out to the left, chunking up a ball to Xavier Worthy. Okay. And look, Xavier Worthy might actually be special. Like, he might actually be just that guy. All right. What I would tell you, though, is he has got the internet on a chokehold right now, Andy. An absolute chokehold. All right. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen right now. It's not a copyright thing because it's, not, it won't get you in copyright trouble, Andy, at all. But if you don't mind, share my screen. I'll play the clip for everyone right now. And turn the volume down. Okay. Patrick Mahomes rolling out to the left side. This is via the Kansas City Sports Network. And look to Worthy. All right. It's got the whole internet going crazy. This clip right here, Andy, has been viewed 3 million times. So look, if Xavier Worthy is truly transcendently special, then selling him now is not what you should do. Or is it? Right? Because this is the Andy, how many other training camp highlights have you seen that are better than that right now?
None. I mean, KC has been lit with training camp highlights out of the gate here.
So the hype surrounding Xavier Worthy, who, by the way, Andy, has already had some hamstring issues this offseason. A little bit of a fragile guy. And something else is Worthy had some bad drop issues in Texas, more so in the early portions of his career. And Chiefs receivers are allergic to catching the football. You could have some struggles with Xavier Worthy here in year one. So, yeah. Am I buying the Xavier Worthy hype? Yeah. In fact, the Indiana Dynasty draft, I took Worthy ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. I had the chance to choose either or, and I took Worthy, and I felt very dirty about it. And I'm a BTJ LSU guy through and through. So I like Xavier Worthy, but now might be the time to move his college uni stuff. So yeah, look, $85, Bowman first, unlicensed. Buy it now for Xavier Worthy.
I bought that on draft night, that same exact card for $50. And Steve thought I overpaid, but look, here we go. I'm gonna probably list it for like 100 and see if I can just clear double up on it and sell it. But I will sell it now. I will sell it now.
Yeah, you should, and that's why I'm telling you this right now. It is the only viral training camp highlight that I've seen. I've seen some other cool things, Anthony Richardson, Dan Mitchell, and all of that. But 2.3 million times, this one random clip where Mahomes is rolling out to the left and just flipping something up like that. And you also got to keep in mind, Andy, Mahomes had the lowest ADOT in the league. So Chiefs fans around the world are excited that they have another Tyreek Hill type of speed guy. He's not going to be that good, but speed-wise, we're thinking we're going to get vintage deep ball Mahomes again, and that also is exciting a lot of people about Xavier Worthy. So I would seriously consider moving your Xavier Worthy product now. That's my play of the week.
Yeah, like if you and that goes for like a lot of these guys, like the Luke McCaffreys and all these other guys in camp that you've got college uniform cards of, whether it's Bowman, Sage, Leaf. I would list them now and buy it now. Depending on the scarcity of the card, kind of price it out based on what you're seeing currently sell for the upper end. Like look at a guy like Worthy and try and plan and list your card in that $40 to $60 range or something like that. If you paid, 15 to 20 for it, and there's a good chance your guy could pop. I mean, we saw this happen with countless number of players last year. The one that jumps to mind, Carter, is Deuce Vaughn. We're getting close to Deuce Vaughn time, man. I mean, even a guy like Amir Abdullah went off on the Hall of Fame game opening preseason, and people were buying his cards. And he's not even a rookie. I mean, he was like 30 years old last year. I mean, just like, but these rookies, especially, they can go get really crazy prices in the training camp preseason cycle here, and you want to have them listed ready to go. You'll get your best prices typically in a buy now because you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know when that highlight's going to happen. That one viral video like Carter just showed of Worthy's going to happen, and it could be preseason. So why not go ahead and list them now and buy it now a little bit higher, 15-20% higher, and like be ready,
Let's see. We'll take a few more questions before we skedaddle. I see you highlighted Chris's question. When should I put my Aiden O'Connell Will Levis cards up for sale? Andy, I'll let you go.
You got to wait for Aiden O'Connell. I have seen prices go up a little bit for Aiden O'Connell, but you got to wait until we get that news that he's the starter. That's when there's going to be a significant spike, like instantly when that news is dropped. If that does happen, and whichever guy that it happens for, Minshew or O'Connell, the prices are going to spike for them. And then I think you could then react, like look and see what the new price is for. Let's just use the Prism Silver as a standard. If right now they're selling for $20, the news drops and that card goes up to $40 or $50, then I would say, okay, let's see how that maintains over like the period of a couple days, because it could appreciate even more, and maybe list yours for 60 to 70. You're not trying to get super greedy, but you're also, not trying to sell yourself short, trying to leave the guy that buys it with the perception he has some upside in the card. He could potentially hold it and sell it for a profit down the road if O'Connell wins the first few games of the season, something like that. But that's the kind of the approach that I would take, because I did buy some Aiden O'Connell Silver Prisms, and that's kind of what the same approach I would take and what I've done in the past for similar players that I found works best. Will Levis, Carter, he playing Chicago week 1. I'd be ready to sell him week 1 at some point in the season. If he doesn't come out of the gates hot, I think Will Levis is going to be a guy that gets super cheap in October, November. You could potentially then submit that card to get graded, and wait till it comes back. And obviously they're in a tough division, man. So that Will Levis may not even be a play this year, but we'll see.
Whew. Will Levis. 4 touchdowns in his first game, 4 touchdowns in his final 4 games combined. So was that Falcons game more of what we are going to see? It should be very interesting. And I do think the Titans are going to throw the football a lot. Like, you don't have Tyjae Spears and Tony Pollard and run the power run game. They're going to spread it out. They're going to let Will Levis air this bitch out, man. And I shouldn't have said the B word, but that's essentially their mindset. They want him to chunk that thing. And Will Levis, when it comes to air yards, is up there for any rookie quarterback ever. He wants to throw the deep ball. So it should be interesting in that tough division. But you're right. If he has a big game versus the Bears, I would be looking to move, because I think he's decent. I don't think he's ever going to get to like the Burrow Herbert level of a QB. So there you go. All right, Andy. Let's see. We'll take a one or two more. Funhouse Comics, our only super chatter, wants us to talk a little Malik Neighbors. Yeah, I think he's going to be special. Andy, your thoughts?
Easily the best receiver the Giants have had since Odell Beckham Jr.
Right.
So I'm excited, man. I just saw the tweet yesterday that Danny Dimes is healthy. He's like cleared for contact. I saw Joe Burrow's cleared for contact too. So it looks like Daniel Jones. And yeah, I think this is going to be. I think the Giants could exceed expectations only because they played so poorly last year, and now the expectations are so low. I think Malik Neighbors can make a big difference in being a guy for Daniel Jones, like a legitimate weapon that could command, probably the majority of the targets on the team. I mean, at least 20-25% that cat's going to demand because, I studied him quite a bit after you spoke so highly about him. I mean, he's going to be a beast in the NFL.
There you go. Fun show today. Once again, if you are just now joining us, we shared all our national tips. Obviously, it's going to be great. If you've never been before, don't get overwhelmed. Make sure you are there to have fun. If you don't want to go to the national, once again, I will be set up at the Shreveport Card Show this Saturday. All day I'll be there, 735 American Way in Shreveport, Louisiana. So there you go. Malik, baby. Be ready for it. 220.
Yeah, his prices have gone up a lot, man. I mean, there's a lot of people that really think that, given the right situation, he could be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. I've heard plenty of analysts, like dynasty analysts and stuff, that really studied film and the analytics. They're more bullish on Malik Neighbors. It's just a question of what's the quality of quarterback play? Who's he going to be better for? Brian Harmon from Reception Perception said Malik Neighbors the more naturally explosive athlete than Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison, though, is a wide receiver one, written in stone kind of guy, though.
And guess what? I'm one of those people that think Malik is better than Marvin, but we'll see. Obviously, Marvin in a way better situation. So, fun show today. If you want to reach out to either one of us on social media, Andy FB Card Quest, I am at Carter the Power. All right, y'all. We'll be chatting in the Discord. Don't forget, you can go to footballcardquest.com and join our Patreon community, all a part of the nooffseason.com network. We'll see you next Tuesday, y'all. Peace out. Boom.
Peace, guys. Appreciate y'all.